Hello everyone. In this video, let's discuss about smallest multiple in permuted digits. Let's go for the problem statement. Given two integers n, d, find the smallest number that is a multiple of d that could be formed by permuting the digits of n. You must use all the digits of n, and if the smallest multiple of d has leading zeros, they can be dropped. If no such number exists, output -1. So what they have given in the problem statement, in the sense, they have given two input values of type integer n and d. I need to permute the given value n, and I have to check whether the number is divisible by d or not, and the permuted number should be the smallest number. In case if the number doesn't exist, I have to give my answer as -1. And one more condition they have mentioned, in the sense, if I have leading zeros, I should drop those leading zeros. That is what they have given in the problem statement. I hope you are clear with the question now. Let's go for the input format. A line containing two space separated integers representing n and d. They have given two integer values. Output: a single line giving the permutation of n, that is the smallest number multiple of d, without any leading zeros, if any. If no such permutation exists, the output should be -1. Let's go for the sample test case. And before that, we have to see the constraints. So let's see the constraint: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which means that the input value n can be up to 10 power 12. And people, remember carefully, if you are using C++, you have to give the data type value as long integer. If you give integer, you will not get the proper answer, so you have to give long integer. For Java and Python, you can use it as integer. And d value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it is 10 power 6. So it's better to give the data type value for the input values of type long integer. Let's take the sample input: 210 and 2. So here they have given the value of n as 210 and the value of d is 2. So what I have to do? I have to take the given value, I have to permute the digits, and I have to find the smallest multiple in the permuted digit, which is nothing but, if I permute this digit, the first value I will be getting is 0, 1, 2. So if I have leading zeros, I should drop these leading zeros. I have to check whether the number is reduced by 2. So 12 modulus 2, yes, my remainder is equal to 0. So I can say that the number 12 is divisible by the value d. So I can print my answer as 12. I hope you are clear with this. So in case if it is not divisible, for example, I am going to give my input value as 3, 1, 2, and the d value is 2. Here, what is the first smallest permuted digit I will be getting from this number? 123. Check whether 123 is divisible by 2. No, it is not divisible. If it is not divisible, I have to go for the next permutation. What is the next permutation I will be getting? 132. Check whether 132 is divisible by 2. Yes, of course it is divisible by 2. I can say that my answer is 132. This is the given question. Let's check the next test case. So here they have given the input value as a very big number. So 3, 6, 9. So which is 10 power 9 something. The value is of 10 power 9 and the d value is of 10 power 5, which is less than 10 power 5. So here I have to permute all the digits. If I permute all the digits, the smallest permuted number which I've got is this number, and this is exactly divisible by this number. Fine. Let's check whether it is exactly divisible or not by using a calculator. 5139,17768 divided by 853684. So I have got a whole number 602 without any decimal point, which means that the number is exactly divisible. And remember, this is the smallest permuted number from the input value d, which is dividing the number d. Sorry, this is the smallest permuted digit of the given number n, that is exactly dividing the number d. Fine. Let's go for the third test case. 531. And n value is 531 and d value is 2. Now what I have to do in the sense, first I have to find the smallest permuted digit. What is the smallest permuted number I will be getting from the value n? 135. Check 135 is divisible by 2, it is not divisible. Then go for the next permuted number, which is 153. Check 153 is divisible by 2, no, it is not divisible. So what I have to do? I have to go for the next permuted digit. What is the next permuted digit? 315. Check 315 is divisible by 2, it is not divisible. Go for the next permuted digit. 351. Check whether 351 is divisible by 2. No, it is not divisible. So what I have to do? I have to go for the next permuted number, which is 513. Check 513 is divisible by 2. No, it is not divisible by 2. So go for the next permuted number, which is 531. Now check 531 is divisible by 2. It is not divisible. So go for the next permuted digit. So I don't have any other number. I will not be getting any other permuted number because I have 3 digits. So if I permute 3 digits, 3 factorial numbers I'll be getting, which is nothing but 6. So I've got the 6 numbers and I've checked all the 6 numbers that is not divisible by D. So what I have to print it as my output value? -1. So I have to print my answer as -1. If none of the permuted number is divisible by D, I have to give my output value as -1. I hope you are clear with the question and the test cases. Now let's try to write the algorithm for this. Algorithm to write the program. So what I have to do? Get input values of type long int, because the constraint is 10 power 12. So I have to get the input values of type long int. After getting the input value, what I have to do in the sense, extract the digits and store it in an array. Extract the digits and store it in an array. For example, if the input value is 531, in the array it will be stored as 135, because I'll be extracting this digit first, then I'll be extracting this digit, then I'll be extracting this digit. But I want my answer as 531. In the array, the first element should be 5, second element should be 3, and the third element should be 1. But it will be stored in the form of 135. So what I have to do in the sense, reverse the given array. Reverse the given array. So if I reverse this given array, I'll be getting my answer as 531. After this, what I have to do in the sense, sort the array. So if I sort this, I'll get my answer as 135. And don't say, sir, already I have only 135, then why am I reversing and then sorting? In this case, I have got it in the answer in the form of sorted number. For other cases, I might have not get the answer in the sorted format. For example, if you take my input as 213, so it will be stored in the form of 312. So if I reverse this, 2 and 3 will be getting, which is not in sorted order. So I have to sort the given array. After sorting, what I have to do in the sense, I have to permute the array. Permute the array. And once after permuting, I'll be getting my first answer, right? First permuted value. So after getting the first permuted value, what I have to do in the sense, convert the array into whole number, because here in the array it will be stored as 135. If it is an array, it will be easy for me to permute. If I have given 135 as an integer value, I cannot permute the digits. So I have stored in an array and the array has to be permuted. After permuting, the value will be stored like this, 135. Now I have to convert this as a whole number of 135. How can I convert this as a whole number of 135? 5 into 10 power 0 plus 3 into 10 power 1 plus 1 into 10 power 2, which is 1's digit, 10's digit, 100's digit. So 1 into 10 power 2, which is 100, plus 3 into 10 power 1, 30, plus 5 into 10 power 0, which is 5. I'll get my answer as 135. So this is the logic I have to use to convert into a whole number, to convert the given integer value into a whole number. After converting the given number into a whole number, what I have to do in the sense, check whether it is divisible by, check whether it is divisible by D. If yes, print the value. If yes, print the value. And before permuting, take the variable, let's take least multiple as variable, and initialize it as -1. If it is yes, store it in the variable called least multiple and print the value. In case if I'm not getting any answer, I'm permuting the given number in all forms, but none of the numbers are divisible by the variable d. In that case, what I have to do, I have to print -1, print -1. So that I have stored in the variable called least multiple. So I'll repeat the logic. Get the input values of type long integer. The value n and d should be of long integer because the constraint of n is 10 power 12 and the constraint of d is 10 power 6. Then extract the digits and store it in an array. After that, reverse the given array. After reversing the given array, sort the array because I need to get the smallest multiple in the permuted format, right? So after sorting, take a variable, initialize the value as -1, then permute the given array. After getting the first permuted value, I have to convert the given array into a whole number and check whether it is divisible by d or not. If it is divisible, store the value in least multiple and print the least multiple value and come out of the program. If it is not divisible, go for the next permuted value and convert into a whole number and check. So this process has to be repeated for until I'm getting all the permuted values. After getting all the permuted values, if none of the numbers are divisible by d, I can print my value as -1. This is the logic for this question. That's all. Hello everyone. In this video, let's discuss how to write the program for smallest multiple and permuted digits. As usual, let's start with the preprocessor directive. #include bits /stdc++.h, which includes all the header file to my program using namespace std. So the execution should always start from the main function. Now I should get the input value from the user. So let me declare the variable int, and remember before that I'll go for sample input and output. So 210, two integers, but see the constraint, the value range is 10 power like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. So 10 power 12, that was the constraint they have given. So I'm going to declare the variable of type long integer n and d. I have to get the input value from the user. Cin, n and d. I have got the input values. So what is the first thing which you have to do? The number should be converted to digit array, because each and every number I have got an integer value. That integer value has to be converted into digits array. So I am going to extract all the digits from the given number. I need to permute, right? That is the reason why I am extracting all the digits. I am going to extract all the digits and I am going to store it in an array. So let me declare an array. The name of the array is digit arr. And what is the size of that? I need to give the size, right? So let me define it as a macro. #define max underscore size. So 10 power 12, let me give the size of that array be 15, because it is not going to exceed more than 15. Here I am going to give it as max underscore size. And then I need to have a digit count also, right? DIGAT. Okay, digit count. Fine. I have to call a function to extract that into digits. So let me write the function name as convert to digits. Okay, let me give this as a function name. Here what are the arguments you have to pass? The given input value n and the digit array and the digit count, because I need to store the digit count also. And remember one thing, in call by value, whatever the changes I am doing in the function definition, that will not be reflected back. So I am going to use call by reference, which is nothing but I am going to pass the address of the digit count variable. Fine. Now I have to define this function, and this function is not going to return me anything, so I have given it as void. Now let's define that particular function. Void convert to digits array. That was a function name I have given. How many arguments I have passed? I have passed 4 arguments, which is int n, int digit underscore arr, because that was the array I have passed, and next one is nothing but the pointer variable, so I have to use star to dereference digit count. Okay, what I have to do, let me declare a variable called int I, and next one is nothing but star digit underscore count equal to 0. Initially I am going to give the value as 0 for the digit count. Now I have to extract the digits, right? How I have to extract the digit? By using a do while loop. Divide modulus by 10, I'll get the digit, store it in an array, and then divide by 10 so that I'll remove the last digit. The process has to be repeated again and again. So digit underscore array of, which is the index value I'm going to use, right? Digit count value is the index value I'm going to use. So digit count plus plus is equal to n modulus 10. I have taken the number, I am doing the modulus operation by 10, and I am going to store the value in the array. The index value I have used a digit count because it starts with 0. So I have used this as a index value. Then what I have to do? N equal to n by 10. That's all. Here do while loop, I have to give the condition for while loop, right? So while n greater than 0. If n is greater than 0, I can iterate the loop again and again. So here what I am doing, let me comment here. Extracting the digits and store it in an array. That is what I am doing here. After that, what I have to do? I have to reverse it, because if I give me input value as 321, in the array it will be stored as 1, 2, 3, but I want the value as 321. So I'm going to reverse the given array. The value which I have stored, right? I'm going to reverse the array for I equal to 0, I less than digits count by 2, because first and last value will be swapped, second and second last will be swapped, third and third last will be swapped. That is the logic I am going to use for reversing the array. That is why I have given divide by 2. Now what I have to do? Int temp is equal to digit underscore array of I. The first value I am going to store it in temp. Then digit underscore arr of I is equal to digit underscore arr of last element. How to go for the last element? Star digit underscore count will give me the last value minus 1, because the index value of an array always starts with 0, minus I. Each and every time I have to reduce the digits. Then digit underscore arr of this value, star digit underscore count minus 1 minus I is equal to temp. That's all. Finally, I'll close the main function. Actually, I made a mistake. That is why it was showing an error. Okay, I have to close the bracket by after this. That was the reason why it was showing an error. Now there is no error here. Okay, so let's check the brackets, because it's a very big program. So I have closed the function here. So in the function, what I have done? I'm extracting the digits and storing it in an array. After that, I'm reversing the given array. That is what I have done. After this, I have to go for the main function. So once after extracting the digits, what I'm going to do in the sense, I'm going to sort the given array. I'm going to sort the given array, because smallest multiple in permuted digits. So I'm going to sort the array, because I need to get the smallest answer, right? So I'm going to sort. So I'm going to call a function called sort array. Here what I'm going to pass? Digit arr, comma digits count. You know the logic of sorting, right? So here I'm going to use the simple logic of bubble sort. So let's sort the array now. It's very simple. I hope you know the logic of sorting. So let's make it very fast. We're just sorting the given array. So function name I'll give it as, what is the function name I have given? Sort array. I have passed 2 arguments. So void sort underscore array. Here I have passed two arguments, int a, int n. Let me give it as array name as a and size be n. Int I comma j. For I equal to 1, I less than n, I less than n, I plus plus. So inner for loop should start with j equal to I plus 1. Or you can come with reverse, anything you can go for. So here I am going to come with reverse. J equal to I minus 1, j greater than or equal to 0, and j minus minus. And remember one thing, I am going to take the values from the array. So I will take one temporary variable and I am going to store the value of first element in temp. And I am going to check one condition, which is nothing but if a of j is greater than temp. What is the meaning? A of j plus 1 is equal to a of j. I'm sorry, here instead of bubble sort, I'm going to use insertion sort. Else I have to break. Close the else part, close the loop. A of j plus 1 is equal to temp. I have used the insertion sort for this program. So we know the concept of insertion, right? Here what I'll be doing in insertion sort, I'll take the element, I'll compare with the previous element, and I'll be inserting in the given position. That is how insertion sort works. So I have sorted the given array. Now let's come to the main logic. Once after sorting the array, what I have to do? I have to find the permuted digits, right? So let me declare one variable. So let me declare the variable as int least multiple permuted. Here I am going to call one function called get least permuted multiple. So here what are the arguments I am going to pass in the sense? Three arguments. Digit underscore arr. What is the array name? Digit underscore arr, and the digits count. Digit count. After that I need to find the smallest multiple, right? So I need to check whether the number is divisible by the value called d or not. I'm going to pass a value called d. Fine. Now I have to write this function get least multiple get least permuted multiple. So let me write that function here. The function is long because I have declared the variable of long, right? So the return type should be also long. Long int get least permuted multiple. So here I have passed three arguments, array and the count and the value called d. So here I am going to do permutation. So for permutation I need some values to be called. So let me declare few arrays. Here int order of max underscore size is equal to empty. Then used of max underscore size is equal to empty. Now I am going to give a variable called int least multiple permuted is equal to -1. Why I am giving it as -1 in the sense, in case if the answer is not been found or I cannot find the answer, in that case I need to written -1. That is what they have given in the program. So I'll give it as -1. Now I am going to declare a variable called is success, which is nothing but whether can I get the answer or not. So for that I am going to call a function called permute. Array n d and the order array and then used array, starting index value for permutation, and finally the variable called least multiple permuted. Fine, I am calling this function. So here what I am going to do, I am just going to perform permutation. After permuting, I am going to check whether the number is divisible or not. And remember, still I have not formed it as a number, I have taken as an array. Still I have taken the input value in the form of array only. Now let's write the function called permutation. So here int permute. So here what are the arguments I have passed? I have passed many arguments. Int a, array I have passed. After array I have passed a value called n, and then long int d, because the value can be long integer, and after which order array, and then used array, int index, and the int least multiple. So I have taken these many arguments. Now let's write the logic for permutation. Remember, int I have declared a variable. If the index value is equal to n, which means that I have got the permuted digits. If the index value is equal to n, I have got the permuted digits. If the index value is not equal to n, I have to form the permutation. For that, I have to take a variable called I have to take a loop with the variable I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So here what I am going to do in the sense, first I am going to check whether I have used the first value in the array or not. For that I am going to give a condition, if used of I is equal to 1. If that is equal to 1, which means that I have used the first element in the given array. So what I have to do, I have to continue the loop. If I have not used the first element in the array, I have to use it. So for that, use of I is equal to 1. I am going to initialize a value called 1. After using that, I am going to store the first array value in one array, which is called as order. In which order I have to permute. So in that order, I am going to store the value. Fine. After storing the value, I am going to do permutation. So I am going to call recursive function call. So here I will give recursive function call. So here what I am going to do, if 1 equal to, which is called success, right? If 1 equal to permute. So again I am going to call the recursive call, which is array size n d order used index plus 1, because I am going for the next value, which is next array element, and the least multiple. If the condition is true, what I am going to do, I am going to return 1 because I have got the answer. Finally, what is the use of this? Backtracking. If this is not possible, I have to go for used of I is equal to 0. Let me close the for loop and return 0, and let me close the entire function. So of course, so here what I am doing in the sense, if I have permuted, it will come inside the if condition. If I have not permuted, I will go for the loop. I will be permuting the given digits. For that, first I will be checking whether I have used the digit or not. If I have used a digit, I will continue. If I have not used a digit, I will use a digit. I will make it as 1. So I have 1 represents I have used the digit, 0 represents I have not used the digit. So and then I will be storing the digit in an array called order, and then I will be calling the recursive function call. Once that is not possible, I will be backtracking. This is what I have written it as a program. Now what happens if I have permuted? That I have to check, right? Here let me comment. Check whether it is permuted. If not permuted, permute it. Okay, let's write the logic for this. If it is permuted, I have to make that array as an integer value, one whole number. Here I have taken as an array, I have to make it as a one whole number. For that, what I am going to do in the sense, I am going to declare a variable called number. I am going to take a loop and I am going to iterate all the digits, and I am going to make it as a whole number. So int I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Because with the whole number I cannot permute. Either I should convert into string, or I should convert into an array. So here, instead of considering it as a string, I have converted into an array and I have permuted. After permuting, I have to take it as a whole number because I have to divide with the value called d, right? So for that, I have to convert into a number. Number is equal to number into 10 plus a of order of I. So I will be taking each and every number from the array element, and then I will be closing. So it will be making as a whole number. So here I will comment it, converting the array into whole number. After converting, what I have to do, I have to check whether it is divisible by d or not. If number modulus d equal to 0, if that is the case, I will assign it to the variable least multiple is equal to number. Finally, what I have to do, I have to return 1. If that is not possible, finally I will give return 0. So this if condition got over. So I hope you have understand this. Finally, this will return me the value whether it is success or failure. So that will be stored in the variable called is success. Finally, this has to return this function has to return the value. What value it has to return? Return least multiple permuted. Actually, it is least, not least. So it is returning the value. That's all. This is the program. Let's recall the program once again. In the main function, I'm getting the input value from the user. After getting the input value, I have declared an array, which is nothing but I'm going to convert the given number into an array, because I have to permute. To permute, I should convert into either string or I should convert into integer array. Here, instead of considering it as a string, I'm going to convert into an integer array. So this is the use of this function. This function will be called, I have written this function here. So in this function, what I'm doing, I'm converting the given whole number into an integer array. So I'm extracting the digits, I'm storing it in an array. After that, I have reversed the array. Why am I reversing the array? In the sense, if the input value is given as 321, in the array it will be stored as 123. But I want the first element to be 3. So I'm going to reverse 1 to 3 as 3 to 1. I have reversed. After reversing, what I have done in the sense, it will come back to the place where the function has been called. It will come to this place and I have to sort. Why am I sorting? In the sense, in the question they have given smallest multiple in permuted digits. So I have to sort the array in ascending order. For that, I have called a function called sort. I have used the logic of insertion sort and I have sorted the given integer array. This will give me the sorted form of the given array. I have sorted the given array. After sorting, what I have done in the sense, I have called a function called get least permuted multiple. I need to get the answer. For that, I have called this function. So in this function, I have declared few arrays. Because for permutation, I have taken 2 arrays. I will be calling the function called permutation, and then the answer will be stored in the least multiple permuted variable, and I will be storing the value in is success. What is the use of is success? Whether I am getting the answer or I am not getting the answer. So here I have called the function called permutation. So in the permutation, if the digit is permuted, for example, if I have given 10-digit number, all the 10 digits are successfully permuted. If it is successfully permuted, I'll be checking and I'll be converting as a whole number first, because I've taken as an array. I'll be converting it as a whole number. After converting as a whole number, I'll be checking whether the number is divided by d. If it is divided by d and if I get my remainder as 0, that is my answer, because I need to get the smallest multiple. That is my answer and I'll return 1. In case if I am not getting the answer, I'll be returning it as 0. So here I have written the logic for permutation. So permutation is very simple. If for example, let us take 3-digit number. So first digit I have not used. If I have not used, I'll be using it. I'll be storing it in an array. First digit will be stored in the array called order, and then I'll be going for the second digit. I'll be checking whether second digit has been used or not. If not used, use the digit. I'll be storing it in an array. I'll go for the next recursive call. Third digit, if I have not used, I'll be using it. I'll be making the value as 1. I'll be using it, and when I go for the next recursive call, it will come out of it, and I'll be going for the function, because the index value becomes 3. And the size of the given array is also 3. So both are matching. I have permuted all the 3 digits and I'll be checking the answer. This is the logic of this program. Finally, what I have to do, I didn't give the final comment, right? Sorry. Once that is done, finally I have to print the answer. The answer is stored in the variable called least multiple permuted and return 0. That's all. This is the program. So this is a bit lengthy program, but you have understood the logic, I guess. Let's save and compile. Hope there is no error in the program. Oh, I have got n numbers of errors. Digits count was not declared in the scope. Okay, we'll check. Here, what is the array I have passed? I have passed digit count, not digits count. Okay, That was the error, I guess. So line number 17, it is not digits count, it is digit count. That was the first error. And next better qualifier before 72 on the line number 72. What is the error I have? Global scope. Okay, let's run the code and check. Okay, that error has been removed. I does not name a type. Okay, I have not declared the variable called I guess. I have declared here. Okay, this if condition. Okay, I have closed the int permit function here itself. That is the error. Actually, this should not be closed. This should be closed. Again, I am making some mistake in the brackets. So let's check. This if condition, this for loop I have closed here. Then this if condition I have closed here. Then this if condition I have closed here. If it is permuted, if it is not permuted, I'll be going for the loop, this if condition and this if condition, and this loop got over. Okay, and finally I have closed the permit function. Let's see. Yeah, it passes all the test cases. Actually, I was making a mistake with the brackets. That's all.
Hey YouTube, how are you doing? Stay tuned to Facebook for more awesome videos. Don't forget to subscribe.